and welcome to another episode of the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. Let's not waste no more time. Let's get right to it. So, you often hear the saying, just because somebody carries it well doesn't mean it's heavy. Just because somebody carries a burden well doesn't mean it's heavy. So, you're carrying the weight of depression. You're carrying the weight of anxiety. You're carrying the weight of suicidal ideation, and so many people hide it really well. From the everyday ordinary American to Robin Williams, who hid it so well, to people who hide it so well. It's one heavy ass burden, and imagine how much heavier it must feel when you're doing things like taking a shower. You're carrying the weight of depression, that's 20 pounds. You're carrying the weight of anxiety, that's 60 pounds. Then you're carrying the weight of suicidal ideation, that's like another 30 pounds. 70 pounds. So I know what it's like to carry that burden for years. I've carried that burden for several years. Going all the way back to when I was young, okay? And but I tell you what though, it never really affected my work performance. Never really did. I would say the only time that it did kind of affect me was when I was when I used to be at UPS, the early years of UPS. That would be the time where I would say it affected me because nothing really was going right for me the first couple of years there. And so yeah, but just because someone carries it well doesn't mean that it isn't heavy. And they compared it to a bag of groceries, okay? I saw this post by Let's Talk Mental Health, okay? And the post said, imagine you are holding a bag of groceries, okay? If you carry it for a 2-minute walk to the car, it's no problem, okay? If you carry it for 20 minutes, if you carry it for a 20-minute walk home, you might get an ache in your arm, okay? If you carry it for 2 hours, your arm will feel numb and tired. The weight of groceries change, but the longer you carry it, the heavier it becomes. Stress and worries in life are like the bag of groceries. Carry them for a while, nothing will happen. Think about them a bit longer, they begin to hurt. Carry them too long, and you will feel numb and burned out. Just because someone can carry it well doesn't mean it isn't heavy. Okay. And so, yeah. Carrying, yeah. It's like, you're carrying mental health groceries. It's like you have mental health groceries in your bag. You have depression, you have anxiety, and you have suicidal ideation in your grocery bag. And you take it back to the car. And there is no effect. I just mentioned that I've been carrying that burden for several years. I know a few friends who still carry that burden every day. You got to manage your symptoms 24/7 because don't take no days off. Depression don't take no days off. Anxiety takes no days off. Thoughts of suicide doesn't take any days off. Okay. And so, yeah, let me go back to that. Carrying them for a while, nothing will happen. Think about them a bit longer, they begin to hurt. Carry them too long, and you will feel numb and burned out. Okay. And it didn't take me long to feel burned out when I was younger. I was burned out on life by 2012, and I was burned out that I wanted to end it all. I really wanted to end it all. Okay. And there was a very strong desire to end it all. And my alternative to that was I self-harmed. Okay. I self-harm a lot. And no, not gonna get it in a minute. That's a trigger warning. Not gonna trigger nobody, but yeah. If I could not end my life by suicide, which I attempted, okay? If I could not end my life by suicide, I was going to do the next best thing, which was self-harm, especially going through the shithole of 2012, where I was going through a bad breakup, went through, I quit my two jobs, okay, and on top of already being depressed, anxious, and suicidal, I was having financial difficulties as well, okay. And so you add all that up, ugly breakup, quitting two jobs, and financial stress. You add all that up. That sounds like a recipe for ending your own life. Okay. But and it got dark. It got really dark at times. It got really dark at times, and I don't know how I did hit it. I really don't know how I did hit it. It had to be God, man. It had to be. Okay. It had to be God. But yeah. Heavy burdens are like groceries, okay? Only thing about it is it's an invisible burden that you can't see. It's an invisible burden that you can't see, but you feel it on your shoulders. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your legs. You feel it in your head. You feel it in your arms. You feel it in your hands. No. It's heavy. It's heavy, and But hey, I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm still not as many days when I was younger. Still carry the burden of depression, mental health, depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety. Okay. And you really can't put into words just how dark it gets for some people mentally. You really just can't put it into words. And all the words that have been said, words can have not been invented yet to describe how dark it gets for some people mentally. Okay. And it still gets dark for me at times. I know a few friends where it still gets dark for them at times. Okay. Just had this one friend. She just sat in the car crying. I saw something the other day where she said that she was just overwhelmed and she just sat in her car crying. That's how dark it gets. Shit can just pop out of nowhere. Okay. It can just pop out of nowhere. And you shouldn't have to work hard for people to see just how depressed, just how dark it is for you. And it's like, for some people, they have to work really hard, okay? Because mental health can be invisible, yes. Mental health can be invisible, yes. But, being severely depressed my own self. Being severely depressed my own self. I just kind of observe and watch people. And I told you the example a few weeks ago at the gym where this lady, every time she did a set on a machine, she was just walking, looking into space all the time. And I was observing her, and it was like she doesn't look happy. She doesn't look happy. I mean, it's one thing when you finish your set and you're just walking around with your hands on the hips, like But something told me that she wasn't happy, but never did get the chance to go up and speak to her. But yeah. Depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. It's like carrying the bag of groceries. Yeah, just like carrying the bag of groceries. Let me see. I want to discuss something else. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Untreated oppression. I was headed down this road early in my adult years. I was headed down this road early in my adult years. Untreated depression can lead to worsening of symptoms. Depression can worsen over time if left untreated, and this may lead to more severe symptoms such as persistent sadness, fatigue, hopelessness, and irritability. As always, it can impact your mental health. Depression can lead to other mental health issues such as anxiety disorders, substance abuse, and suicidal thoughts or behaviors. Physical health. Untreated depression can weaken the immune system, increase inflammation in the body, and contribute to conditions such as chronic pain, cardiovascular disease, and obesity. Impaired cognitive function. Individuals may experience difficulties with concentration, memory, and decision making. This can affect their performance at work or school. Impact on relationships. Depression can strain relationships with family members, friends, romantic partners. Individuals with untreated depression may withdraw from social interactions, leading to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Just mention work and academic performance, school. Untreated depression may affect work or school performance, attendance, productivity, leading to difficulties in focusing, completing assignments, and meeting deadlines. Just a quick note for studying takes energy that studying requires a insane amount of energy to study. Okay. And every time I tried to study, I kid you not, every time I tried to study, I ended up falling asleep. Okay. Every time I studied, I ended up falling asleep every time. Okay. So the thing that I did was I just did I did the work in class and I did the homework because I was a terrible test taker in math, particularly. But as I said, I did the work. I did homework. And that's how I got by. That's how I got by. In math, particularly. Okay. In math, particularly. That's how I got by. I just did all the homework assignments and did all the class and work. So some individuals may turn to drugs or alcohol to cope with their untreated depression, leading to substance abuse issues and dependence. I know a friend who has recovered from meth addiction. Somebody I went to high school with, he had a fentanyl addiction. He is sober now. Okay. Increased risk of suicide, untreated depression. The number one thing that leads to suicide, untreated depression. Perhaps most concerning, untreated depression is a significant risk factor for suicide. Individuals may exhibit suicidal behaviors or thoughts, especially if they feel hopeless or isolated. Okay. So, I always talk about the need to talk about suicide. There you go. We have people ready and waiting for you to listen to you without judgment, okay? Dial 988. Your life is worth a phone call. Okay? You matter. You are loved. And you're not a burden. Okay? So when your phone goes off during the video. Anyway, but yeah, so if you're feeling that way, if your family doesn't understand you, if your friends are consistently pushing you away, we will not push you away. People at 988 will not push you away. Okay? We are here to listen without Judgment. Okay. So, sort of like that Bill Withers song, "Lean on Me." Even though I think the Club Nouveau version is pretty fire too, but like both. So, anyway, that's it. That's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. May God bless you all. See y'all the next one. I am out of here. Peace.